Lesson 2, Question 1. To illustrate the benefits of simplifying the observer's job, consider psychologist William Ickes's research on everyday mind reading. One way he studies such mind reading is by having two strangers interact. He tapes the interaction and then has each participant view the tape. Participants are to stop the tape at different points and say what they are thinking. Then, participants see the tape again and are to stop it at different points and write down what their interaction partner was thinking at that point. Observers rate the degree to which the participants' guess about what the partner was thinking matches what the partner was actually thinking. Ickes could have had observers make their judgments on a 0, not at all to 100 completely scale. However, he had observers use a 3-point scale, with 0 being essentially different content, 1 being similar, but not the same content, and 2 being essentially the same content. By using fewer categories, raters found the job of rating easier and were able to make reliable ratings. Lesson 2, Question 2. Instinct is the most difficult of the motivation words to define. At the everyday level, it is used often. For example, a sports commentator might say, "He made that pass instinctively." This means that the pass was made easily, automatically, with great skill and with a seemingly intuitive knowledge of the state of the game. However, at a technical level, the word refers to behaviors that are built in, always, appear in a similar form and are specific to a species. So, a spider builds a web instinctively, and a bird's mating display might be instinctive. It is unlikely, though, that there is any equivalent. Instinctive behavior in human beings. Some people might argue that a mother's reaction to her newly born child is instinctive. But certainly not all mothers react in the same way, and even when they do, they express it in myriad forms. In general, instinct has been found to be a not very useful construct. In giving accounts of the why of behavior, Lesson 2, Question 3. An indication of the power of TV to capture people's memory is provided by the results of a study by James Ost and co-workers who approached people in an English shopping center and asked if they would be willing to participate in a study examining how well people can remember tragic events. The target event involved Princess Diana and her companion Dodi Fayed, whose deaths in a car crash in Paris on August 31, 1997, were widely covered on British television. Participants were asked to respond to the following statement. Have you seen the paparazzi's video recording of the car crash in which Diana, Princess of Wales, and Dodi Fayed lost their lives? Of the 45 people who responded to this question, 20 said they had seen the film. This was, however, impossible because no such film exists. The car crash was reported on TV but not actually shown. The extensive media coverage of this event apparently caused some people to remember something, seeing the film that didn't actually occur. Lesson 2, Question 4. Our political decisions are determined by how the options are framed, and this mechanism can make a mockery of the feeling that our democratic choices proceed by ordering our desires or preferences. Political conversation evokes a range of loosely connected attitudes. In 3 successive years, researchers from the General Social Survey asked whether we were spending too much, too little, or about the right amount on a variety of government programs. In each year, 20 to 25% of the respondents said that too little was being spent on welfare, but 63 to 65% said that too little was being spent on assistance to the poor. Once again, if our democratic choices were based on the ranking of preferences, our decisions wouldn't be affected differently by the terms welfare and assistance to the poor. But these two concepts could certainly tap into different aspects of our attitudes toward this assistance. And we may resist these findings because they conflict with a story we hold dear about free will and choice, in this case, democratic choice. Lesson 2, Question 5. Computing the sum or average of several positive and negative values indeed lies within the normal repertoire of what elementary circuits of neurons can do without consciousness. Even a monkey can learn to make a decision based on the total value, brought about by a series of arbitrary shapes and the firing of parietal neurons keeps track of the sum. In my laboratory, we proved that approximate addition is within grasp of the human unconscious. In one experiment, we flashed a series of 5 arrows and asked subjects whether more arrows were pointing right or pointing left. When the arrows were made invisible by masking, participants were asked to guess, and indeed they thought that they were responding randomly, but in reality, they continued to do much better than chance would predict. Signals from their parietal cortex gave evidence that their brain was unconsciously computing the approximate sum of the overall evidence. The arrows were subjectively invisible, but they still made their way into the brain's weighting and decision systems. Lesson 2, Question 6. It has often been noted that men of genius have bad memories, and that persons having extraordinary memories like Cardinal Mezzofanti have little else. The truth is that there are 2 quite distinct kinds of memory: the memory for external facts and words, apart from their significance, and the memory for spiritual facts and principles. The man of genius, who may have no special reason for cultivating the lower kind of memory, may even find it rather a hindrance than a help. His prayer is, "Let not my heart forget the things my eyes have seen." So long as his heart retains the significance of the facts he has seen and the words he has heard, he is willing to let the words and the facts go. As a man casts away the shells after he has eaten the oysters, the well-informed person commonly differs from the man of genius, in this that he carries about with him all the shells of all the oysters he has ever eaten, and that his soul has grown thin under the burden.